So hi, on the Grimes Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Happy fucking Tuesday, dude. Happy Tuesday.
Dude, this is coming out on a Tuesday too. Shout out to Glory for getting off a plane and basically immediately showing up for the podcast. That's so huge.
I'm fucking committed. I'm committed to the bit, man. This entire podcast. It's
one big bit. And
it is, yeah.
I saw your last FM yesterday, and you were listening to some of the tracks. So I know we had talked about doing this, but we had never decided that this was what we were going to do. I was like, if you're up to it, and you're like, I texted you, and you're like, yeah, man. I'm like,
let's fucking do it.
I'm like, shit, I got a lot of work to do, and now 3 hours of music to listen to on top of it. But hey, man, we're here. Obviously, we missed yesterday because Glory was in the air, but we're here now.
Yeah.
We're doing it. So yeah, man, crazy weekend for both of us. On Friday I saw Falling in Reverse, Dance Gavin Dance, Black Veil Brides, Tech Nine, and Jairus Johnson. Whew, what a show. Was nice and close for that one. It was a good time all around. I walked in as Jairus Johnson's opening music was starting.
Badass. Was he the first?
Yeah.
I thought Tech Nine was first.
No, Tech Nine second.
Interesting. Okay,
No.
Sorry, continue.
So Jairus was first. Big fan of his new album. He played 90% of the tracks are from the new era. I think My Sword is the only one that was on the older side, but nothing off of nothing that was super old. Yeah, My Sword was 2021, which was the only one from around the time of the debut, because the debut was 2022. And then the rest of it was all stuff off of the new record and from this new era, because there was a standalone single that he played as well.
Nice.
So that was cool. He put on a good show. I enjoyed it a lot more this time because the music now is a little bit more my speed. Was not a big fan of Jairus up until this point. Didn't like his album and what I heard, and when I saw him with Acorn, I was like, God, I just want this guy to get off the stage. But I liked the new album, so I was excited to see him, and he put on a good show.
That's good.
Tech Nine, it was just like a set of as many songs as he could play. There were so many snippets and half songs, and he was like, thanks for making this song go platinum, and then he played 30 seconds of it, and I'm like, brother, if that's one of your biggest songs, why are you not playing more of it?
Yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah.
But he had a band with him, I didn't realize, number one, how long he's been doing it, and how long he has been doing it in the rock world as well, because I've heard his name like before I was into rock, because I had a small rap phase before that. Do you not know that part of the lore, Glory?
No, all I knew about was The Weeknd, and that was it. I didn't know you had a rap era.
No, yeah, Little John.
Who did you listen to? Lil Jon.
Yeah,
that was it.
Mainly Little John. Yeah. I could still fuck with Little John, but that's what I mean by a very small rap phase. Like Little John, and tried to get into Lil Wayne, and I was like, that's enough. I don't like music anymore.
yeah, that's fair.
So have heard his name for a while, but I didn't realize how long he had, teetered on the two genres and had been in rock for so long, because he played a song that he did with System of a Down. Many years ago. So I thought that was cool. Overall, I wish he played more full songs, and the big songs I wish were actually showcased a little bit more. But other than that, I thought it was cool. He didn't stay he didn't overstay his welcome or anything like that, and I was actually surprised how many people were super into it, because again, going into it, I didn't realize how much he teetered in the rock world, because the first time I had seen him was like in this genre was with the Falling in Reverse feature, which he wound up coming on stage and doing later in the night. Was
Watch
cool.
The World. No, it wasn't Watch the World.
Ronald.
Burn. Ronald. I'm not saying that.
And then Black Veil Brides came out. thought, they always rock. I'm glad either they fired their sound engineer from Trinity of Terror or he got better because it sounded good this time.
Yeah, you could hear him.
Yeah, although the vibe of the night for the two bands before Falling in Reverse, Black Veil Brides and Dance Gavin Dance, was vocals not loud enough. But that's okay because the mix was not obnoxiously out of place. Because I was like, you should have came with me, Mom. And she was like, when we saw Black Veil Brides, they didn't like it. Even she didn't like the mix because we saw them right after Trinity of Terror at a radio show. So yeah, they put on a good show. They played the new song Bleeders. So it was a good time. Cool to see them playing an amphitheater.
Yeah.
And then Dance Gavin Dance came out. My first time seeing them.
Dance Gavin Dance.
Got Andrew Wells on vocals and Sergio back there.
Hit that shit.
Fucking going crazy. And then, the rest of Dance Gavin Dance was there as well.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Never would have guessed it wasn't just those two. But
holy shit.
It was a good set. Dance Gavin Dance have known about them for a while. Not always my cup of tea. The Swancore kind of stuff is
fuck with Swancore heavy.
I know you do, but for me, it's hit or miss depending on my mood, depending on how I'm feeling, if I want things to be uber technical or not, because it's very riffy, very twinkly. But I thought they rocked. They'd been a band I wanted to see for a while, but obviously was never going to go out of my way to see them, because I don't really like the music enough to be like, they're headlining, I'm going to go watch them. But if they just so happen to be somewhere, I'm going to make at a festival or something, as long as there's no conflicts, I'm going out of my way to make sure I see them. So them being there smack dab in front of me, no other option but to watch them, worked out in my favor. It was cool to hear the new songs, because I actually really do like those. They played Synergy. I recorded it for Glory. She was very excited.
I know. It was so fucking good. Oh god.
And yeah, overall, I thought they put on a good set. My only problem with them, as well as Black Veil Brides, was vocals were buried a little too far in the mix. And the difference with Black Veil Brides and Dance Gavin Dance was Black Veil Brides, I knew the words. Dance Gavin Dance, I did not know most of the words, so I was a little bit more lost. Whereas Black Veil Brides, if I could catch a word here or there, I knew exactly where we were in the song. But that was my only gripe. And then the man of the hour, Ronnie Radke and the Falling in Reverses came out, and
the Falling in Reverses? Am I just fucking Dude, Ronnie Radke and the Falling in Reverses. That's fucking awesome.
They came out to perform, and hey man, listen, say what you want about Falling in Reverse, say what you want about Ronnie Radke. Man puts on a fucking performance.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah, and
on stage.
And I would argue he is putting together one of the best productions in rock and metal right now. The stage show is fucking batshit. The sheer amount of fire was nuts. It was every fucking song. There was so much fire.
Yeah.
Fire everywhere. That's that's pretty much.
That's your review.
That's pretty much the vibe everywhere of the show. There's so much fire. But online, it like watching Ronnie just pace back and forth looks fucking boring. But he is a very entertaining front man. He went on a couple of tangents.
I was gonna say, how many tangents did he go on?
About cancel culture and things of that nature. About 2 or 3. I was there to hear the tunes, and the tangents were a bonus.
I mean, love them. Ronnie Radke's so fucking funny.
They played a good chunk of the new album, as well as some old songs. And overall, I thought it was a good show. I think it's a great package. I think that Falling in Reverse puts on a fantastic show. I've also been waiting a long time to see them.
That's true. Did you see them on the Popular Monster Part 1?
No. didn't
That
come
was
close
all
enough to
me
me.
then.
Yeah, you saw him 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
But
Okay, we don't have to go around saying that though. I saw Ink 2 or 3 times. I saw Crown the Empire twice. All right, let's go
um,
down.
yeah, so they put on a good show. Been waiting a long time to see them. Missed them a couple of times in Jersey, and then they just like toured the Midwest exclusively. So they were finally back, and I was like, I got to be there. Overall, a fantastic show. Very stoked to have finally gotten to see them. And then Sunday I was at See Here Now. I didn't catch a lot of acts at all. I was there with my artist, Rachel Ann Dobkin. She played first on the sand stage. So I was there bright and early. Watched her set. Side stage, went out in the crowd for a little bit. And she put on a great show. Went better than we ever could have expected. So it was a good time. I didn't get much of the festival experience, quote unquote, because I was with Rachel. We were setting up, breaking down. I was running around. So didn't get too much of a festival experience, but that's okay because I am not a huge fan of the festival experience. So the festival experience from backstage is the way I prefer it. A lot less people.
Yeah, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, a lot less people. I did not see, but I did hear most of Kool and the Gang's set.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I did not realize how many hits they had, but could hear them. They were playing on the main stage, but could hear them loud and clear from backstage from the stage that Rachel played, which was on the complete opposite side of the beach. And then I caught her acoustic set at the Danny Clinch Art Gallery tent, and then that was it. Bye bye everybody, and I left because I had been up since way too early in the morning. My boss was out late night the night before with Rachel at the late night performance she had at the Pony, where she performed with Bruce Springsteen. We were
that just happened.
Yeah, that just casually happened. She ripped a song on drums with Bruce and Danny. Yeah, Bruce came at the very end of the jam. So he was tired, I was tired, so I was like, goodbye, and I left. I'm also I saw Bruce last year, saw him once.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I heard it was a fantastic show, but not for me. The festival,
I love Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, the festival in and of itself really isn't my scene or the things I normally listen to, so I was okay with leaving whenever it was time to leave, doing what I had to do and getting out. But it was good to see Rachel rock a stage like that, because we've been working hard. This has been a long time coming, a lot of months put into this performance. So for it to go off without a hitch and everybody be happy with how it went, very awesome.
Wonderful.
Yes. Coming up for me, I got Corn, Point North, and then Corn again. So that's what my calendar looks like this weekend. But you also had a very busy weekend.
I had an extremely busy weekend. I went to Silver Scream Con 2024. That was great. Definitely a massive upgrade. It was Friday to Sunday. Massive upgrade from last year. Last year was held in a hotel. And they rented out all the conference rooms and took down the walls. So it was just, you can kind of imagine how big that was. This time they actually had a full-blown convention center.
Damn.
The DCU center. So it maybe triple, I guess, the amount of people that were there from last year. A lot of fucking people. Had a great time. Saw my vendor friends, saw my band friends, got to meet the Funeral Portrait. I met them last year at Silver Scream. Got to hang out with the Funeral Portrait a little bit. That was great. They signed a vinyl for me.
I saw that.
Signed Charles Gambino's Camp vinyl. And that was fucking hilarious. I thought that shit was so funny. And they thought it was funny. They didn't know who the fuck it was. They didn't know, because it doesn't have the name on it. Yeah. It doesn't have his name. It's just a picture. So they thought it was funny as hell. And they had a show Saturday night. It was so interesting, the show. Definitely my least favorite Ink show so far, respectfully. So let me start at the beginning. So it was 5 people, I think. We'll figure it out. So the first Jason was the first band to come on. Wow. When I tell you how, for what they are, which is like a classic rock band, dad rock, half decent,
Mhm.
Like it's not what I listen to, so I can't completely shit on it because it's like when I was listening to it, I was like, this sounds right. It sounds like they're doing what they're supposed to do, right? And they aren't like shitty sounding, but it's just like audience completely missed that because I don't think anyone there fucking, at least majority of the people there don't listen to fucking classic rock. So it was just such an odd choice. I mean, he was attending the convention as a celebrity, so I guess it was just kind of two birds, one stone.
Mhm.
Such a weird fucking choice though. Every single song was Friday the 13th themed, which sucked majorly because it was like, this song is about fucking Jason's mom and blah, blah. And I was like, do you have any other bits? Did anything else notable happen in your life, respectfully? Like, it's just like there was nothing. It was all just fucking Friday the 13th shit. And if it wasn't Friday the 13th shit, he'd always have to relate it to Friday the 13th. So he'd be like, this song's about my mom and her birthday. This is like one of the actual things he said. This song's about like my mom or someone in his life, a woman in his life. Um, and it's so funny because her birthday is the same birthday as Jason's mom and Friday the 13th. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Is that all you have? It's fine, whatever. He comes, he goes. That's it. TX2 played. Incredible set. Um, I thought it was great. It seemed like about I'd say like 75% of the crowd was actually like into it. When he said, he always does the same hand thing.
Mhm.
And it's like when he did start doing the little hand waving thing, it was like 75% of the crowd was actually doing it. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is great. I got to hear the 5-4 Man Whore song. Great. I got to hear Degrade Me. Great. I think Black Wedding was there, which was fucking awesome. I love Black Wedding. Um, so it was a solid set, enjoyed it a lot. He did play Burn, which it's like I have a love-hate relationship with that song. I hate the rap part. It just sounds so Ronnie Radke. It sounds like fucking Falling in Reverse. But, everything else other than the rap part, great. After that was Avatar. I love Avatar so much. I stood for about like half their set. But I had seats, thankfully. My friend, we were in the ADA section, so I was able to just sit and stand whenever fuck I wanted to. And I was like, I'm not standing for first Jason. So that was a blessing. Um, Avatar was incredible. Great stage performance. Horny as shit as always, but
Yeah.
it's so fucking funny, and I love them so much. Popped out of the little box with his little smile, and I was
Mhm.
like, this is the best show ever.
Yeah.
I'm already sold. Always just such a great stage presence. I love Avatar so with their little fucking head whipping. Then it was in this moment.
Uh,
Literally everyone around me was like, this is awful, without even me like bringing it up. But then I did start bringing it up, and I was like, yeah, no, they're like the worst live band ever, right? um so it was kind of like it was like passive at first, where it was just like, this isn't really good, like, is she gonna move or any, because she was literally in her box the entire time.
you had me pissing myself when you texted me a video and you were like, I can't even see her.
I don't know where the fuck, because she wasn't in her box, and it was just like, where the fuck
I
is
was
she?
like,
She wasn't on. Were you able to see her on the
I,
stage? Because I couldn't
I
fucking see
think
her.
I think she was in the white gown that was like set way far back, but I know
Yeah.
she has other, like, at least at other times that I've unfortunately seen part of their set, she has other performers too, so I didn't know
Yeah.
if it was
You couldn't
someone
tell if
else
that
and
was the
not her,
performer or if it
because
was.
it, like, it's cloaked over, like,
Yeah.
dude,
It's
there's a market for it, but it's not
not
us.
us.
No.
Not us. Or about like 60% of the people that were there. Because it was like there was just a lot of disappointment. And also, aside from picking on her not moving, if we're talking just basic, performer necessities and shit, she doesn't talk to the crowd. She doesn't interact with the crowd at all. She doesn't do anything cool while singing. It just seems like she's just singing. There are no like little live accents that people add, where it's like, oh, they hold that note extra long or something when they play it live versus, to add a little flair.
Mhm.
None of that. And it was the longest turnover. Like literally it was maybe 15 seconds in between, not 15 seconds, 10 minutes in between first Jason TX2, and then
Mhm.
it was like 35, 40 minutes in between TX2 and in this, or sorry, Avatar and in this moment. And it
Yeah.
was like 10 minutes in between TX2 and Avatar. Really quick. And I was like, oh shit, Ink's
Gotta
gonna
set
be
her
on.
shit up.
It, so much shit. And it wasn't even like the setup was incredible this time either. It's like, shouldn't you guys have this shit down by now?
Yeah, but there's so much stuff that it's just it takes 30 minutes to an hour. It doesn't matter because
Doesn't matter.
it's not just bringing out the little bit of production. It's this whole big
It's
production
everything.
every single
Yeah,
time.
every single time. So that was a great wait. When she was doing her thank you at the end, because it was the last show for Kiss of Death, thankfully, I hope they let this one die because I can't see in this moment again. Please, anyone else, please. Um, she kept looking to the side of her when she was like, thank you to TX2 and Ice Nine Kills. It was like you've been on tour with these people for months and you can't remember. How do you not remember Ice Nine Kills? How do you have to look at your fucking paper next to you for their name? That's your co-headliner. Are you not? So that's a little fucking weird. Ink went on. Again, it was like it took a little extra longer for Ink and in this moment to trade off because they couldn't get like this big screen off the fucking stage. So I was just watching them just fiddle with it and like three guys and then it was like four guys trying to just get it over this one hump for like 10 minutes. And
Now
I was
there's
it was
another
fucking awesome.
guy.
And so there's another. How many guys does it take to get a fucking screen off the stage? I don't know. The answer was four.
Yeah.
It took four people. Um, Great. That was so fun to watch. Ink comes on. They open with Rainy Day for whatever reason. Their set list pisses me off. Just ever since um Trinity of Terror 2, I think that was their last one. Past that, set list has been fucking it makes no sense. It makes I don't know who's smoking what, but whoever's fucking doing that, Spencer, I know it's you. I know it's you, Spencer. You need to fix that shit. Rainy Day opened and I was like, I love this song a lot, but it's not, it's like a second or third song. It's not an opener. You
Mhm.
literally made an opener called Welcome to Horrorwood. Why is it your encore? Why are you welcoming us to the end? Saying get the fuck out. Welcome, but get out. Like it's time to go. Makes no fucking sense. Um Setlist was ass, I'll say it. I mean, I've seen them like 6 times, so it's kind of like been there, done that. The only thing I was very excited about was they did play Thank God It's Friday,
Mhm.
which was incredible. Love that song. Big fan. Of course, they brought the lead singer, the main man, first Jason on stage for that.
Ah,
And he just kind of stood there and smiled. And I was like, give us
attaboy.
something. Give us
Attaboy.
so that was a little fucking funny. Because I was looking at the wrong guy because they had two Jasons up there,
Uh,
but it was the first Jason and then a standalone. I was looking, I was like, oh shit, look at him, he got all dressed up. And then I look over to the right a little bit and it's just him dressed in his clothes that he was just on stage. I was like, oh,
that guy.
him. Okay, that's fine. Um, it was just fine. I don't know. It's like, I mean, they played two songs that people were like really excited. I think it was like The Greatest Story Ever Told,
Mhm.
Me, Myself, and Hyde, which I mean, they played like all last tour. So, but I think it's The Greatest Story Ever Told. They only added one new song. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. I don't know if they're scared. I don't know. I It's okay to spice it up like a little bit, guys. You could add like something new. Um, and then it ended. I met TX2. That was fine. He had a long ass line.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, oh, I thought Ink fans hated him. Why the fuck are there like 60 people here to meet this 5'4" man whore? Um, that was fine. And then I left. And I had Taco Bell.
Nice.
That was my week.
Nice.
Yeah, and yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Well, got a couple of albums to talk about, some singles as well. Kicking it off here with The Funeral Portrait. They dropped their new album, Greetings from Suffocate City. Been waiting a long time for this one.
Mhm.
Glory's the one that told me about this band when she saw them at the last Silver Scream Con, and
This is true.
we've been covering them since You're So Ugly When You Cry. Although there are singles that go so much further back.
Yeah, they've been rolling this shit out for a while.
Been doing this for a long time. So I wish we could say since the beginning of the album cycle, but we just that was when things finally started to pick up steam, and in terms of the album finally getting rolled out. So with that being said, the album is fucking awesome. It was well worth the wait. Granted, I only had to wait a year. We
weren't waiting like everyone else. Yeah, we kind of cut in line.
Yeah, there were fans that have been waiting a lot longer than we have, but well worth the year-long wait. I think it's incredibly solid front to back. Suffocate City with Spencer as the opener, just obvious. It's like the no-brainer opener. And then Hearst for Two kind of closing it off is really is a solid closer as well. I like there's plenty of big sounding songs throughout the album, and then they've got the slower more mellow vibes towards the end of the album, so it kind of rides this big wave, and then you slowly start to descend, is what I kind of picked up from the album. But overall, I very, very much enjoyed it. A big Funeral Portrait fan.
Yeah, damn right. So I feel like I owe my best friend Kaylin. Shout out Kaylin. She's like I won't say the biggest Funeral Portrait fan. She's very
normal about them.
And she's close friends with them, so she was very excited for me to listen to this record, review it. So I'm gonna do my bestest at this. So I listened to this. I'm rolling up my sleeves. It's getting serious. So I listened to this last night on my way home from fucking Massachusetts. The entire weekend, though, throughout the convention, I've basically heard the whole album. Like, whether it was my friends playing it on the car right there, at the Airbnb, or at the actual convention, I've basically heard the entire record like 5 times. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just like, oh, we're playing the Funeral Portrait? Okay, cool. Like, all right, sure, cool. Can anyone play Don Broco? No? Okay, that's fine. I did convert 2 of my friends into Don Broco fans. That's whatever. Whatever. So starting off, Suffocate City, the opener. Damn, the opener. I think it is a great opener. I think it's basically the same thing that it's basically what Ink did with Welcome to Horrorwood, where it's kind of just like Welcome to Suffocate City. But let's get this show started. Let's get this shit started. Great choice. Spencer, it's good. I do like his feature on there. So that's great. Blood Mother is okay. I know it's her favorite, and that's also a fan favorite. I'm pretty sure it was a single. I think it's a good song. It's definitely on the slower side, kind of more regular rock sounding, which is fine. I think it's great. I love Lee's vocals, just all on this record. I think he's an incredible vocalist. It stands out from the crowd. And also just him as a person is really fucking cool. Doom and Gloom is really fucking good. That is my personal favorite off the record. It caught me off guard. It's a little more upbeat. It's closer to kind of like the music that I listen to. Obviously not metalcore rap, but it's kind of leaning closer to just more upbeat. Holy Water was good. I enjoyed it a lot. Again, it went immediately after Doom and Gloom, so I went from this massive high of, oh my god, this song is so fucking good, to, oh, this is good. This is good. I like it. Dark Thoughts, featuring Danny Warsnop from Asking Alexandria, I think, yeah, was good. Dark Thoughts was originally a standalone single. I don't think it was originally involved with the rollout. It was before Greetings from Suffocate City was announced. And it did not have Danny featured on it. I've heard both versions. I do prefer the one without Danny because I think Lee's vocals are so big and so it's hard to kind of put him next to someone else because he has just such standout vocals that it sounds like everyone else is kind of just like phoning it in next to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I'd like to say that the two songs on here that were standalone without features on them that now have features on them, I prefer the standalone songs, which are Voodoo Doll and Dark Thoughts. I just like, I wasn't a huge fan of Danny's feature. I don't mind Eva Under Fire's feature. I think that she makes more sense on Voodoo Doll than Danny made on Dark Thoughts. But your point to Lee's vocals, I think he crushes it on his own. That there is no need for a feature. But the songs that already had features on them, I think that those features make sense because they were already there to begin with.
They were already there. Yeah. They were made with it in mind instead of kind of just tagging it on. Then after Dark Thoughts, which again, great. I just prefer the version without Danny. You're So Ugly When You Cry, second best song on the record. Almost maybe first. I don't know. If we're not considering singles, the other one that I mentioned, Doom and Gloom, if we are considering singles, You're So Ugly When You Cry is the best one. I fucking love Burt McCracken. Burt, you're so fucking good. This song is incredible. He matches the energy perfectly because you could tell that he was brought into the process and the song was formed with him in mind. Or maybe it wasn't and it just turned out better. Chernobyl is really good. I think it's a nice little ass shaker. I think it's a really good song. I want more time with it. Dopamine is good. I enjoyed it a lot. Again, it's just kind of like the massive high of You're So Ugly When You Cry. It's just like, it's so hard for my brain to go, why not just listen to that again? This isn't You're So Ugly When You Cry. Well, I'll just go listen to that again. Voodoo Doll, as you said already, it was another single that was released before the announcement of the album, so it was kind of a standalone for a minute. I think it's great. I think it's an incredible song. It's a very deeply personal, sad song, but I'm not the biggest fan of the feature. I think Eva is a great vocalist. I think it's a great feature. I think she sounds incredible. But if I did have to pick, I would choose the original because, again, Lee's vocals are just so there. It's his it's his fucking band. Like, not it's his band, like fucking another band, but it is his vocals. That's him.
Yeah.
Eve Under Fire was a great, addition though, but I do prefer the original. Happier Than You was great. Alien, not my favorite. I'm gonna be real, not the biggest fan of that song.
Yeah.
Generation Psycho is fun. Stay Weird. I didn't think I was gonna like it because it sounded respectfully a little cringy. It reminds me of kind of like that early 2000s, early 2010s, I'd say, where it's kind of like the fucking mustache thing, and it's like, I'm quirky and I'm weird and it's good to be weird, which I mean it is and all that shit. But I was just kind of like, please don't be fucking cringy and shit. And sound wise, not my favorite. Lyric wise, I like it a lot. I think it's very cute. And I mean, because of what the band represents and kind of their whole message, I think it does make sense for them to have a song like this.
Yeah.
So in the context of that, it makes sense. And I shouldn't have been surprised that they had a song called Stay Weird on there. It was just kind of like we'll see. It's good. Hers for Two is a great closer. I thought it was really nice. And I thought it wrapped up the album very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I did enjoy this record a lot more than I thought I would. Because going into it, I was like, I don't think I've been the biggest fan of the Funeral Portrait because it's just not, it's more on the rocky side versus kind of metalcore, higher energy stuff.
Yeah.
But this record is incredible. Lyrics are incredible. And it was mixed so well. Every single song was mixed so well. I like it a lot. I really do. And I understand why everyone is really fucking with this album now because it's incredible. Yeah.
Can't top that track by track there, but
sorry.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Alien is probably my least favorite, but one thing I would like to point out, I think that the album flows great as it is, but the reason why I feel like it's this big, and it kind of peaks and then slowly starts to descend, whether or not it does sonically, because the songs are still there, and rock really, besides Alien, that kind of slows it down, and then obviously Hers for Two, which also slows it down and closes it out. It's very front loaded, and the singles feel like singles because they have that big feeling to them, whereas the side B, it feels a little bit more like a side B, and why those songs weren't the singles.
I'm pretty
which
sure Alien was a single, I think.
was it?
I'm pretty sure it was a single.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's got 1 million streams, so that would check
That'll,
out.
unless it really fucking popped off. But still, I mean, your point still stands
Yeah.
where, yeah, it does still feel very front loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very front loaded, and I mean, that's obviously not to say that the B side or side B is worse in any sort of means. It's just like those are the quote unquote deep cuts of the album,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But that is something I noticed. You know, to loop it back to your band, Glory, it's got that Technology by Don Broco feel to it.
Does.
Where it's very very front loaded, and there's absolutely bangers on the back, but it's like hard. It's almost hard to get to the back if you're when these songs in the front are so big and catchy. I just want to keep looping the front side of it. My favorite might actually be Holy Water, which I didn't expect, because I really like Suffocate City. Been hearing it a lot on Octane. It comes on the Spotify radio and things of that nature. But I like the choir bit in the song, and I think that Lee's vocals throughout the record are incredible, but especially on that song, the grit in the vocals really comes through. So I like that song, but as I said, also Suffocate City, and I like Dark Thoughts, feature or not. I think that it's a solid song. Again, I like Lee's vocals on there, the little like twang that he has in his voice on that song scratches my brain just the right way. But overall, I think the entire album rocks, and I'm a big fan of it.
Damn right. Me too, brother. All right. Silent Theory dropped a new album. Tell us how it ends. Holy shit. This album is fucking incredible. It just keeps going.
Just
like
kick
it's
ass.
just fucking hit after hit after hit. Honestly, it is, in my opinion, the definition of all killer, no filler. I thought every track on this album had a purpose. Instead of kind of like, oh, you kind of phoned this one in. You had a quota to me, didn't you? I thought this album was fucking incredible. What did you think before I go into my favorites?
I thought that this album was incredibly solid, and this is how you do a metalcore album.
Yes.
Exactly what you said with the all killer no filler. There is absolutely zero slowing down throughout this album. They just keep smacking you each time, and it's like it's harder and harder and harder every single time. It just opens up immediately with emptiness in you, which is one of my probably my favorite on the record, because of the way it grabs you. But I'm on a big vocal kick today. The vocals on this album, you can feel the emotion, which, as I've touched on on here in the past, big thing I look for in vocals, especially in my metalcore, are those big emotional vocals. And this album has exactly that on every single song. So that was a huge highlight for me. But they just it kind of gives me vibes of like the Throne album, where it's just like, we're just gonna keep smacking you in the face. Granted, these songs are a little less just like, let's get down to the breakdown as fast as possible. Whereas the Throne record was pretty much, let's just do 20 minutes worth of breakdowns. But it kind of has that same feeling, where this album just wants to keep pummeling you in the face every single track, but with a little bit more lead time before they start smacking the shit out of you, which I can appreciate. You get a small breather, even though you know it's coming.
Exactly. You're so fucking right. Yeah, this album is fucking incredible. My favorite is Made Me This Way. It's smack dab in the middle of the record. And I'm just now, I was gonna say it's the only fucking explicit track, but it's not. There are two others. Great record. The thing I really like the most about this track is just they're not chug riffs, I don't think. It's kind of like baby chug riffs. It's just do 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 do. Like, I fucking love that shit. It's a great song, and I really do enjoy this record a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of Emptiness in You and Tell Us How It Ends, but I could also sit here and name every single song because you know the main standout for me being the vocals. Every single song has standout vocals on them and amazing riffs and has a breakdown, and that's pretty much it's pretty much checks all the boxes for me on what I look for in a metalcore record. But I also like the cracks because it's a little bit different. It's got some electronic vibes to it. A little bit of rapping as well, so I think it's a nice closer. I like it. A little bit different from the rest of the album, but overall incredibly solid record. If you haven't heard of Silent Theory, or you've heard of them and haven't checked them out yet, I highly recommend starting with this record. It's very good. It's very solid.
Yeah, damn right.
Taylor Acorn dropped her new album, Survival in Motion. Been patiently waiting for this one for a while. We didn't cover the singles, but I have been waiting so long for this album. The only single I actually checked out was Greener. I had heard obviously the other ones on TikTok and Instagram and things of that nature because we follow her and I follow her on my personal. So knew this album was coming, and I knew that the singles were catchy ass bangers, but something about Greener had me checking it out when it came out. Like, it was one of the first things I listened to the night that it came out as a single. Whatever Friday that was, a long time ago. So spoiler alert, that might be my favorite on the album.
No, that can't be it.
But I think that Taylor is a fantastic songwriter. And it really shines through in this album. Like, you know, it's obviously very upbeat pop punk, pop rock kind of vibes, but as soon as you dig into the lyrics, it's like you've got these upbeat vibes, but the songs themselves not so upbeat. But I just think she's such a fantastic songwriter and a fantastic lyricist, and that's one thing that has always kind of drawn me towards her, because we had her on the podcast to chat about her last EP, Certified Depressant, and that was the same thing that blew me away with that EP and the previous work before that I had that had kind of put her on the map for me, quote unquote. The lyrics always drew me to her, so she continues that on this record. Nothing but there's not a single song on here where I'm like, God damn, like what the fuck was she thinking? So I really, really enjoyed it. As I said, Greener, probably my favorite.
Your favorite?
It's very catchy. I like the little clapping parts right before the chorus, like that big time. I also really like the title track, Survival in Motion. I think that it kicks things off perfectly immediately. It wastes no time getting to the start. It just basically opens and you're just into the first verse immediately, which I'm into big time. And to pick a non-single, I really like Be Like You. Towards the end of the record, and I think it's an incredibly solid write. So very much enjoyed this album. I went into it with high expectations. Granted, we weren't covering it, and I didn't necessarily know what I was getting into besides Greener and what I had heard on TikTok, but I know what Taylor Acorn is capable of, and I think she did exactly that and then some on this album. It's a incredibly stellar debut album.
I completely agree. I mean, you kind of I mean, I did the same. I just did that with Funeral Portraits. I mean, yes, ditto to fucking everything you said. I think how this album flows is fucking incredible. It's another case of all killer, no filler, genuinely, with this one. It is so fucking good. Her voice is so addicting. It's so clean, and it's just, I don't know how to, I see something, but I don't know how to fucking describe it without sounding insane, with trying to tell you how I think her voice looks. I really like this record a lot. It has bits of nostalgia in it, where it's just kind of shit that I feel like I would have stumbled upon when I was younger and gone, wow, I really fucking like this. And then I would have illegally downloaded it to my iPad and listened to it on loop. I think it's in and out. It's like, what? It's not long at all, is it?
No.
It's 28 minutes.
Yeah.
So could have done with a little bit more, but it's also good because it makes me want more. So if there is a B-side, a deluxe version, or anything like that, very excited. Because I do want more. I do want more of this sound. Um, I think it's fucking incredible. My favorite is the closer.
Mhm.
Birds Still Sing. It's very big and it sounds like a closer to me. Um, I fucking love it. I mean, I was running around the airport to this album, so it kept me going, man. I mean, the entry gate was there, but the departure gate was fucking 30 minutes away. So at 30 minute, it got me there. So
Hell yeah.
thank you, Taylor Acorn.
Love it.
Set It Off, dropped their new single, Creating Monsters. I fuck with this heavy. Okay, yeah, what?
Yeah, I also fuck with this heavy. It's a little different than what we've been getting from, like, it's reminiscent of old Set It Off, whereas we've been getting the heavy, angry, bordering on metalcore Set It Off, and I expected that to continue because they're out right now with Nothing More and From Ashes to New, and that tour lineup, their headlining tour lineup once they're done with that is From Ashes to New, If Not For Me, and New Year's Day, which is just that's just a metalcore lineup right there. So I expected that to continue, and then I heard the song and I'm like, why is this the Set It Off I found in 2020?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck is going on here? So it's a little confusing because it feels like they're kind of jumping around a little bit.
But I'm into
because
it.
2020, I mean, yes, but it's like 2020 Set It Off is nothing like the Set It Off they're doing now or have done recently.
Yeah.
Because remember, they had that kind of like, I always think pop because I'm visioning their neon hair and their very colorful outfits, but it's just like the scope and the range of music that they've done in recent years, in the past 4 years, has been so fucking crazy. They're an incredible band. And this song is really good. I like it a lot. I agree.
Yeah, I'm rocking with it. Underoath dropped their new single Teeth. I did not expect to get new Underoath right before they're going out on the 20-year anniversary of their Only Chasing Safety tour. So this was a pleasant surprise. Still no album announcement. We're 3 singles in, but allegedly those 2 from last year were standalone. So I don't know where we're at now, but we're several singles in, no album announcement, but that's okay. Again, I didn't expect any new music because the where they're going out and touring in support of an anniversary, not new tunes. I'll be there in Jersey, by the way. But of
course.
I like the song. I think it fucking rips. Underoath have been kind of doing their own thing. I loved Voirus. I've loved the new song so far, and this is definitely like the definition of like we're doing us.
Exactly. It is just Underoath. I'm very excited. I believe they are coming to Virginia for that tour. I just have to figure out if I'm in town or not, because I know I have friends that are going. So if I do go, I could tag along with someone. I do want to see Underoath live again, because the last time I saw them was on the Popular Mons tour, part 1, with Crown and Ink and the other guy.
Ronnie Radke and the Falling in Reverses.
It's so fucking funny. Love Underoath. Really like this song. And I do want an album. Sorry, guys. I know you're all excited about the 20th anniversary or whatever about that other record. Put that to the side. New music. Would love it. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. The Weeknd. I'm surprised you didn't get this one. The Weeknd dropped a new single, Dancing in the Flames. I'm going to let you take this one because I liked it a lot. I like The Weeknd. I like this song. Now you, Mr. The Weeknd fan.
I mean, there's not much to this one. I liked it. I didn't like check it out when it came out or anything like that. I go in dribs and drabs of the Weeknd and more so get locked in when it's album time. Like he announced the record, there's no release date, there's nothing like that. But the album
cover art is so fucked. I hate it so much. I hate it.
The cover art and the album title, they're out there, they're floating around. So it's intimate at this point. But I typically lock in when it's album time, because I feel like with these past few projects, like Starboy absolutely was an album where the singles were singles, the album tracks were album tracks. It's a fantastic record. It's probably my favorite of his, but the singles stood alone on their own and could be consumed as singles, whereas I felt with his more recent projects where he's gotten very artistic with everything in the world building, that the singles are becoming less of singles and more like they are quite literally part of the album and make more sense when listening to them in the album. So I think that this song is good, but that is basically my only opinion on it, because I'm waiting for the full album to just have a judgment on the entire project versus the single, because I think it will make a lot more sense in whatever the fuck he's building, because he's only quite literally, according to Spotify, the biggest artist in the world.
He dabbles.
I would probably actually hand that title to someone like Taylor Swift, but according to Spotify stats, he is number one in the world. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Announce the album before their singles, put out a single, have Apple be the sponsor of it by shooting it on their new iPhone, like just casual things. Like seeing that, I was like, yeah, that's just probably a normal Tuesday for him. He's
probably bored already.
So I like the song. I'm into it. I'm very excited for the album. I'll be locking in when it's album time. And hoping to see him again. A tour off the back of this record would be cool, but again, he can do whatever he wants.
Maybe this time Doja Cat doesn't drop off the lineup last minute.
True.
Let's think about that.
Yeah. Ginger dropped their new single Rogue. They're going to be heading out on a headliner here in the US, so it makes perfect sense for another single. We had one earlier a few months ago, but a single right before the tour makes decent amount of sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
I like it. I like this song. I've been fucking with Ginger. I saw them open for Disturbed and I didn't quite get it, but so far with these couple of singles, I've been getting it. I'm into it. I like it. I'm stoked for more.
Yeah, no, I really like Ginger a lot. They aren't a band that I frequent because it is just a different type of music that I listen to if it's on the playlist. I listen to if it's recommended, but it's not the one that I seek out because it is a little heavier than my typical. Metalcore is like my peak right now. Maybe in 2 years I'll be like, you know what, fucking all that shit. But I do think it is incredible, and I do think this band is fucking ridiculous. I really like this track a lot. Whitechapel dropped a new single, A Visceral Wretch. Again, another one where it's like, it's not something I seek out. Heavy as shit. Like literally, I was going up an escalator when I was listening to this, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. People just listen to this day to day, and that's fucking awesome, and cheers to them. Before I listened to that one, I was listening to the Alexander Technique by Rex Orange County, so that's where my brain was. This is like literally the two fucking sides of it. I think it's a great song. Again, I think this band is incredible, insanely talented, and I'm very excited for more.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, this this track is fucking brutal. I like it a lot. I will be seeing them with Lorna Shore and Kubla Khan in October, and I'm very amped on that because I believe we covered their last album, and it was probably like, wow, this was heavy, and then we were like, all right, we just listened to this album to talk about it for 15 seconds, on to the next one.
Literally, that was us.
Yeah, I enjoyed this track, and I'm stoked for more.
Damn right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Until I Wake dropped their new single, The Reverence. I fuck with this. This is heavier than I thought we would ever see this band go, because I
was thinking the same thing.
It's been very much in the metalcore world, and this is taking it to the next level, and I'm fucking into it.
Because when I saw the name, I was like, okay, cool, yay, metalcore. And I clicked it, and I was like, what the fuck is why is everyone going like super heavy now? I started like fucking crying and freaking out. Yeah. So caught me off guard. I think they do it very, very well. But I am missing my metalcore like a lot. Because it was bang, bang, bang. And I went, okay, guys, let's all take a breather. Who wants to put their little acoustic track next? Like, let's take it easy. Incredible song though. I really liked it. But I am missing my metalcore.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Sorry. August Burns Red, it dropped a new single, Exhumed.
Talking about heavy, it just continues to get heavy. But August Burns Red does what August Burn Red does. You know, I was listening to this without the Spotify playlist up, and I was like 15 seconds into the song, I was like, this is the new August Burns Red. Like, I don't even need to check. I just know, because they have the sound. Jake has the signature vocals that are just, that is the August Burns Red vocals. And I liked it. I teeter here and there sometimes with August Burns Red, depending on the track, the album. Some of it is a little too Macho Man for me. But I think that Jim Bro, rip your head off kind of feeling. And just like overall a little too heavy. Sometimes the vocals are a little too not clean for me. But I think that this song was solid, and you know, is still that August Burns Red, but had some clean moments, which is when I enjoy August Burns Red the most. So yeah, I like this song.
I think they would be honored that was your impression of it. I mean, it was spot on, right? Oh my god, holy shit! I thought this song was great. I didn't get much macho vibes from this one. It did sound like I'm gonna fucking rip your head off, but it was kind of like in like a chill way, you know? Not in like a, oh, I gotta fucking pump some iron shit. I think it's a great song. The drums are crazy on this one. It's just a really fucking great track. I like it a lot.
Hell yeah. Chrissy Costanza dropped your new single, I Tried to Act Your Age. Glory finally got her acoustic moment after four straight up heavy bangers on the playlist here. I thought that this song was cool. You know, obviously we've been following along with her EP cycle so far. We've followed along with Against the Current in the past. I think she's a fantastic vocalist and absolutely crushes a slower track. So not normally a huge fan of slower songs. I mean, if you watch the podcast, you know. But I like this one. I think it's good, and I'm excited for this EP.
I thought this track was great. Definitely stood out on the entire fucking playlist. As you already said it, but her vocals are so fucking beautiful, and I think this track just gives you nothing else to kind of look at, because all, you know, the instrumental, everything else is kind of took like 2 steps back so you can focus on her voice. I don't know why, it's very reminiscent. It's very nostalgic for me. I don't know, it feels like 2010s, something I would hear on the radio. Just that type of slower pop track, in my opinion. When it's not pop, I don't think anyone would classify it, but it's just that kind of edgy pop vibe. And I really like it because it sounds like something I would hear on the radio. So great song. I really liked it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Hillhaven dropped a new single, Liar.
Yes, they did.
Yay.
It's another fucking banger. I've been into everything that Hillhaven has done. I mean, I feel like we say it every time you put this caliber of artists together, these great minds all in the room together, and I expect nothing less than what we've been getting. Every single song has been super catchy and also very strong instrumentally, and this song is no exception. I think it fucking rocks.
Damn right. I think it's great. I think the progression in the song is incredible. Instrumentals, as always, are really good. It really is a fucking super group. It is. You can't go wrong with it. I hope there's something big, an actual project coming soon. I like the singles thing. I understand that's kind of the walk of the game now. I just made that up. That's not what I meant to say, but that's what we're gonna say. But I'm really hoping that at least they put it into an EP format, or they have a couple more tracks and they make it into an album. I would just love to see Hillhaven in a full body of work instead of single by single, because I feel like I can't fully appreciate it if it's just kind of like it comes and it goes. I really want to sit down and actually have like 30 minutes to kind of be in their world for a second. So yeah, that's my take.
Hell yeah. I agree. Well, that's all the topics we have today. So you can follow us on Twitter. It's GoodNoise_Cast. Instagram is Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. All your streaming services, guess what? Good Noise Podcast and Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Glory's got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your merch plug, your Amazon storefront plug, and your important plugs, and we're gonna sign off.
Yes. They check out our merch. It is Good Noise Podcast creator-spring.com. Check out our Amazon storefront. My voice is so fucking gone. Check out our Amazon storefront. It is in the description. It has all of our equipment. It has our cameras. It has our mics. It has our headphones. It has everything that if you want to fucking recreate our set, you could do that. Set up. I didn't finish that word. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Matt from Pulses, Zari, Punk Apologist, David Arrington, Tyson from Heal to Hurt, and Eric. And then thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt from Pulses again. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Important plugs: Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, Free Palestine, be a decent person, support small bands, support big bands.
Well, that's all we have today. I have been Shane.
I have been Glory.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you when we see you. Bye.
Bye.